Hello. And reading over the chat, thank you again to Summer Chan for the wonderful intro. Um, I do actually happen to be Italian. Well, partially. Uh, and you've almost got the stats on me right. So that's kind of funny there. Also, you may be hearing some new noises as I work today because I recently got a new tool to help me do things a little bit quicker on my computer. So you may hear, let's see, uh, that noises like that a lot today because this thing is very clicky clacky. It's basically a nice little augmented keyboard thing on the side here. Also, thank you for joining me today, Sasami-chan. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, here. Going into object mode. Because I already got those two things painted. Now I need to get back into let's see, proportional editing on this object. Okay, now. I had to remember a setting on my new thing here. Okay. Okay, cool. So, as I work today, let me know how annoying slash not annoying the clicking sound is from my new device, and I might be able to do something about that because I know this. I know OBS has functions and plugins for audio filtering and advanced audio tweaking, so I might be able to find one that can get rid of clicking noises. Kind of a noise gate, really. Okay. Do-do-do. Ah, ah, okay. Just trying to look for. Why does that look weird to me? Oh, that's why that looks weird to me. Okay, now need to. Oh, actually that looks pretty well. Let's see here. Whoop! Forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Okay, putting that on to Do Not Disturb. There we go. Okay, now let's see here. I need to do some stuff here. Change this back to that mode so I can click on these and get the measurements right. Okay. Yes, I can do that. And you maybe like I may be like tweaking some settings on this device as I work along, as I'm like, oh yeah, I need that function. Because this thing's got lots of nice functions to it. It's a completely programmable device. It allows me to basically put a lot of the function to one spot instead of me having to jump all over the keyboard to get to all the buttons and doodads I want in a program I'm using. So let's see here. That's that, and I need that's that function. That's that function. Okay, and that's delete. Okay. Yeah, I think that button's gonna work well for that. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna work for that. Okay. Okay. I can actually highlight all of these and do this and just move that over there temporarily so I can then turn this on. Go to here, switch to this mode. Yeah. Good to know. Okay. This thing's nice. It's got like so many options on it. It's like it it's kind of funny. It's like a mouse, a joystick, and a keyboard built into each other with little parts from each, mostly keyboard. So it's got a scroll wheel. It's got a digital pad that can also be converted into a joystick. And it's got mode switching. All the keys are programmable. It's got a nice palm rest. It was basically designed to be a gaming kind of keyboard thingy. But I was like, hey, I can use that to make my life easier when it comes to using programs. Because there's like so many functions all over the keyboard that I have to like, my hand has to travel over, my left hand has to move all over the keyboard to get the entire functionality of the programs I'm using. I'm like, but if I had programmable buttons. So I actually have control, I actually have copy and paste to single buttons on this thing. I have grab mapped so I can just grab things, whatever I want. I have scale mapped to a button. I have rotate mapped to a button. You know, of course, grabbing things is nice. I have mode switching. I have escape. I have all these modification keys. It's all a really nice thing. I just need to get used to it and find all the keys I use the most often in the programs I use and program those to a comfortable setting. Because right now I have undo mapped to a big button near my thumb, and it's really handy. Of course, right now I'm trying to figure out where to put my earphone cable because it's like in a slightly annoying spot. Yeah. Oh, hello, YS Books. Good to see you again. And yes, I know you can like map hotkeys in Blender, but I find that if I do that, I get confused in other programs. And what's really nice about this device is that if I map common keys to the same spot on this device and I move across programs, I don't have to remember where those keys are or remap them in the program. I just have it all mapped to the same locations on this device, so I can basically have muscle memory for all the devices. Um, um. So, yeah, it just makes it really easy because I just have all the things mapped to this nice little thing, and I also have quick access to a digital pad, so I could like hit the grab button and then just move it precisely pixel by pixel or point by point just by tapping on the digital pad. So that makes it really nice for that. And I also have functions mapped to things, so that's really nice. Let's see. Yeah, so I just hit a single button that brings up this render wheel. And if I really wanted to, I could actually probably map each of these to a direction on the direction pad if I wanted to, but I like it right now. I could also probably just map it to the scroll wheel, so I could just, roll the scroll wheel up and down to slide between the modes. So that would be handy. So maybe I'll do that. Yeah, it hasn't been that long ago, and I'm surprised, it's also kind of like a visual thing, because I'm a very visual person. So your picture along with your name, I will remember here, but if I met you in person, I'd remember your face and not your name. Until I've heard your name enough and said it myself enough times, then my brain will go, oh, I got that name now. But because it's a visual thing, I'm remembering you based on the picture and the name. So it gets in there. It's an ADHD thing, really. And because of everything I've been doing, I haven't had a chance to look at your videos since last time, other than bringing it up that one time on the last stream you were on. Okay, now let's get back to proportion mapping. Yay! Okay, go back to that, click on that, then click on this. Let's see here. Okay. So that's 0.8. Same on that side? Yes, that is the same on that side. So cool. So this needs to go. That's interesting. that's why. Aha. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. There we go. Okay. So this is 0.87. Let's go 1800. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a bit much. So let's go with 180. They just need to be proportional. Okay. 180 minus 180. Okay. That is 1/8. Ah, yeah. Ember has a memory like that where you can give her something and she'll be able to pull it out of nowhere way later, like months later. You're like, so this thing, and she goes, yeah, that thing. And if you do that with me, I'll forget it seconds later, and be like, what did you just tell me? Okay. Oops. So let's see here. So that's 0.8. So what I'm doing, that's going to be 80. There you go. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. I'll just grab this and move it up. And temporarily. Actually, I can just do this. Now, can I? No. So, I like that. There we go. Turn this off. Okay, do that. Grab, zoom in, grab 360. That's perfect. Okay, same with that. Yeah. Okay, of course that's gonna line up. So let's do. Okay. Just Just out of curiosity, YS Books, what's the stats of the machine you're working on to render your shows, and how long does an episode usually take to render? So those two I use. Hmm. Okay. Okay, here. Hmm. Well, it's not really cheating. It's efficient use of assets. Because that's what a lot of big companies actually do too. They reuse a lot of things. Like, if you ever watched any anime with a transformation sequence in it, or any episode of Power Rangers, you know studios will reuse any footage they can. uh, let's see here. Okay. Hmm. Ah. Ah. There we go. I get it now. Okay. Going to have to do a quick thing here. Hmm. Zoom in. Grab that. Now, where is the option to turn off this? I really don't. This this gets in the way more often than not. The I used to run on a Core i5 laptop way back when. It's actually still a big thing in animations nowadays, specifically things like run cycles and basically anything that's a that you can reuse. Like if you have this character always at this angle, always doing this thing, it can be reused. Like even small portions of animation assets now, because we have computers, can be reused a lot more often. Like the mouth moving. If your characters are always staring at each other in a certain way, you can reuse the mouth shapes. Um, excuse me, to do things. It's actually a trick that people in the abridged community for cartoons use a lot. They actually reuse samples of what they call lip flaps um, all the time because the mouth shape is the same for that sound all the time at that angle. So you can reuse that shape without having to like reanimate it or find a frame that matches it to redo it. So that big animation studios also do that as well. And yeah, Hanna Barbera was um, in filmation. We're let's see, known for reusing animation like crazy. And Disney did a sneaky thing with reusing animation. They actually traced their own work to read to do some stuff. That's a big difference. Is um, also in He-Man and stuff like that, they did a lot of tracing too, because this is the reason that all He-Man male characters look the same, have the same body shape, because they did a twofold on that one. The body shape is the same on all the male and female characters because they only had one mold for male and one mold for female for the toys. So it was just easier to do it that way. Animation is hard because for complicated sequences you have to redraw a lot. Like in My Little Pony, the Gen 4, the anytime they had to come up with a dress or an outfit for the ponies, that was a lot of extra work. Um, which is why they tried to reuse outfits a lot, because it's a lot of work to make new outfits because you have to redraw that outfit from as many angles as you're going to have it. This is also why they tried not to have too many angles on new outfits right off the bat. Or if they did, it was only in one sequence near the end of the episode. Okay. Okay. There we go. That will give us a little bit of a better mapping of where things are. Okay. Okay, that's 3. Okay. Don't mind me while I do some cleanup. Okay. 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 Let's see here. Got that, got that. So that's at minus 0.8. Ah, it's because that's... Okay. Okay, let's try this again here. And I believe, yep, that's rotate. Okay. 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 Okay, here. Hmm. Ah. Yeah, I've done that trick before myself with still images. When I've needed to have a shadow layer over something. Because I've actually used Blender to blend real world pictures and 3D objects together to help illustrate what a object would look like in the real world to help, excuse me, construct things. I've also actually used Blender to do stage layout, as in build sets on stage for plays. I've actually built a whole entire stage. I actually reconstructed the stage so I could build stuff on it inside of Blender. I actually walked around with a tape measure measuring the stage, and before Blender had actual measurements conversion built into it, I actually figured out the scale of how much point 0.1 in Blender was in the real world. So I was like, okay, I'm going to say point 0.1 is 1 foot in the real world. And from there, I just measured the stage. Okay, that's 3 points. I actually built an Excel spreadsheet where I could type in 5 feet, 21 inches, and it would give me how many points in Blender that was. So I could actually reconstruct things to scale inside of Blender. And I actually built entire sets for plays in that. Okay, here. Now. Which axis is which? Oh. Well, Blender just crashed. Yay! I gotta say, like, the most current version of Blender is really crashy, at least on my system. And I don't know if that's Blender or the graphics drivers on my system that's causing the bugginess. Because I got some weird kind of graphics glitches in some older games. Like the original Mass Effect, there's this weird bloom thing that happens. And I have no idea why. Okay. Blender's relaunching. Waiting for that to do its thing. Okay. 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 I have now gotten back to where I was. um, that was me reading Sasami Chan's comment about, like, when is speed not a factor? Well, it's like, is speed a factor of the crash? Like, he was going 5 miles an hour. That's not really much of a factor. But if he was going 5 miles over the speed limit, that could be a factor. So it's really a technicality to categorize what type of crash it was. Was it a crash because of the vehicle's fault? Was it a crash because of the driver's fault? Was it a crash because of the other driver's fault? Was it, it's basically just legal stuff. Hmm. Let's see. What grade are we talking about? And it also depends, like, what class are we talking about. If it's a drama class, like I've been in several, people are a combination of want to be complicated or they want to just, it's like the complication is where they want the complication to be. Like, do they want it to be a complicated stage? Do they want it to be a complicated performance? Do they want it to be a complicated emotion? It's like it's just all over the place. Okay, now gonna turn that off. Go back here. And let's turn back on this. Okay, so Z is straight up, Y is back, and X is... Okay, that's the way it's supposed to be aligned. So Z is supposed to be straight up. Okay. Yeah, I can see that being a thing in high school, especially if it's not a drama class. Then yeah, like most people in high school, because of several factors, let's put as little effort in this as possible, or make it as efficient as possible. Okay. Do, 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 do. That I believe that's the correct direction the origin is supposed to be now. Okay. Now change this back to this. Also hit save. Oh, that's a shortcut key I should map to this. Save. Now what button would I map that to? Huh. I can't imagine why in high school they would want to do Grease. I say that sarcastically because Grease is like one of those like the more you analyze it, the more you're like, wow, that's a lot of sex stuff you're talking about in that. Especially the song Grease Lightning, and also that is one of those plays you look at and you go, wow, it's definitely written for its time. Guys and Dolls, I don't recall enough to really have any opinion on. I've never seen the play version of Mary Poppins, so it never clicked into my head. Wizard of Oz and Peter Pan, yeah. I I don't think I was part of either of those, but those were definitely done at my high school. Wizard of Oz and Peter Pan. Makes sense. Okay, now click back on this. Turn back on origins. So Y is back, X is right, Z is up. There we go. Huh. Yeah. Okay. So that's all set there. Let's turn this back to this. So that makes sense there. God, I'm all coffee right now. Let's see here. Put that back to front, zoom out a little bit there. Okay. I'll turn this one back to here. Okay. Okay. Looks like I need to do a little bit of cleanup again here. That would be that way, huh? Okay. quite sure where these like weird zeros come from. I also use modifier. Well, I also use modifiers for characters breathing and blinking. Yeah, modifiers are nice, and I need to play around more. I don't think I'm actually gonna use it in this project till near the end, but gonna stretch there. Sorry, I don't think I'm gonna use this particular new tool that Blender has till near the end of the project, which is called geometry nodes. Yeah, geometry nodes, because it's more for like if you're doing a mass amount of like a lot of little items all over the place that need to be set up in such a way that they look naturally random. Uh, like I'm probably gonna use it at the end for all the trees in uh the farm. I wanted to call it Green Apple Acres, and I don't know why. Okay, here. Let's see. Two. Okay. Do-do-do-do. Yeah, I can see how that would be a problem with. I'm just now reading Sasami Chan's messages here. Yeah, I could see how that. Like, I did a independent film, and there was so much stuff like it wasn't meant to be a gag, but we had to film in this convenience store, and I used a object tracking points in Adobe Premiere to actually blur. No, it was After Effects. Adobe After Effects to blur out the labels of all the uh, items in the store because, like, well, we don't have the rights for those logos or those texts or anything. So I am just going to blur out everything. And when we did a public showing, people laughed at that because of how much blur there was on the screen. So I was like, it works. So I can see how that could be a thing. Created a sound file on Audacity and then baked the F curve to a shape key for blinking. That way, it is an auto feature now. I did something similar with breathing. Hmm, that's handy. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can't really put on YouTube anymore. Okay. Wow. It, time just flies by really quickly because it's already 11:50. And I've barely done anything with the texture today. Mostly, I've been trying to fix this box that that I didn't realize the coordinates were all wonky. There we go. Okay, the coordinates seems to be all fixed now. Ah, yeah, I need to like watch some more videos about Ed Wood, um, just to get a more feel of how crazy that guy was, because he did like a lot of interesting stuff, and he was just bonkers about it, and there was a lot of interesting stuff going on in the background. Okay, let's see here now. That is so. It is 0.3 tall. That's 300. Okay. Let's see here. Do, 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 do. That's 0.8. So that's those 2 points. Okay. This, here, and here. Okay, so that tells me now where is, let's try that. I'm actually going to highlight this and grab it and okay, that's interesting there. Okay, here. Those are really big jumps. How do I make that more fine-tuned? Okay, here. So what I actually am going to do is do that, and I'm going to turn this back on. Zoom in a little bit. Like that, zoom out a little bit, grab, and I'll put that down there, so I can do that. Okay. Actually, let's grab this and move this over here, and actually grab this and move this down here. Put that to 360. And this is at 0, so this should be says 30. Okay, there we go. Now let's go back to this one and make sure everything's lined up. Yep, that's what we want. Okay. Now we're going to turn that off. Do that, this, that. Change this back to vertices. Well, technically there's Google Drive. You could share videos directly with me that way. Also, pretty soon there's going to be a give me a second here. A thing from Proton Mail. They are branching out their services into other areas like Proton Calendar and Proton Drive, which are all encrypted services. And I think you get 5 gigs free when they launch Proton Drive, and then you can share stuff directly through there, so you could share videos that way. Okay. Let's see here. So I think I can just grab this and yeah, this is always a weird thing with the snapping to when you snap to the vertices. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Dee dee dee. Do do do. I'm just like looking at stuff here. There's an option I'm trying to remember. Maybe that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Be right back. Gotta trim a bush. Also, that's a lot of neat tricks. YS books. Okay. Now let's move on to this. And there we go. Now I need to zoom out. Grab that. And, whoop. Okay. Move this over. Okay. Now, grab that. Actually, move it over here. Do this. And grab that. Take it down here. Gonna zoom in a little bit. Turn that off. Zoom in a bit more. Okay. There we go. That lights that a little bit better there. This and put it down here. That, pull it down. There we go. Okay, so this needs to be 3, 6, like so. And that's going to need to be, I think it's 0.8. I think it's 0.8. No, it's 0.3. Okay. Okay, so that's that. Okay. Okay, so that's that. So that's going to be 30. Yeah, that's actually what we want, but that didn't work. Okay, so that would be 390, I believe. 390. Yep, there we go. I can math. Okay. So do that to select all the faces. Okay, so this one, let's turn this on so I can see which faces. That's the back face. Okay, and that's the top. That's what we want to do next. Okay. Grab that and move it over here. Do that. Grab this one. Like so. Grab it and get it close here. Ah, yeah, I nailed that one. Okay. Go. There I go. 360. Yeah. So, are you going to be breaking up the show into seasons, YS books? And if so, how many episodes? Yeah, how many episodes were you thinking per season? Okay. So that is 80 plus 30, 80, 90. Wait a minute. I can just do that. I can highlight this, tap on this, and go 80 plus 30. I forgot. You can do math inside of these fields here, so I don't have to count in my head. Okay. Got that. Yep. 360. Okay, so that's 80. Okay, so that's going to be 110 plus 80. There we go. Okay. One more shape to do here. Okay. That's good. Wait, that's not what I need. What I need is this, and that's 40. So that will be 60. Actually, that's 30. Okay, so that's gonna be minus 30. There we go. Okay, got one board completely unwrapped properly. Yay! Bring that inside. Turn back on constraints. I can push it into the corner there. Okay. Okay. Scale this. Grab the 2D cursor, and I'm actually going to put it into the corner here. Back to that, and we want to, from 2D cursor, it's weird. It's acting like it's hitting something and having to stretch upwards instead of just scale out. Okay. And I think I know why. Let's see here. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, that's because of the way it's scaling. Okay. Yep, it's what's going on is it's hitting the bottom here, and that's causing it to do that, which is kind of interesting. So let's try moving the 2D cursor down here, and yep, and it's hitting the. Okay, that's all sorts of interesting. So nope. Let's put the 2D cursor back into the corner here. tools. No, that just tells me that I can't type in where I want that. There we are. Can that? There we go. Okay, now let's go here and actually turn off that. So I can scale it if I want to. Okay. Now. Okay. Yeah. Also, that little box appears when I don't need it, but appears, but I can't figure out how to get to appear when I do need it. Like right now, I want it to like pop up so I can type into it the scale I want. Because now, see, I had to scale it for that to pop up. Yeah. Okay. Nope, that's not what I needed, but I want us to resize all of these at the same time. But may as well just do them one by one. Okay. Yeah, I've got all this real estate right here and here, so let's go with 5 and see how that feels. Okay. Okay, let's go up to this and change this to this so I can look at the table to see how much resolution I actually need. So this and this are the most prominent. Okay. So that means they need the most texture detail. So okay. So yeah, that feels about right because it leaves enough room for the side here to go here. Okay. Yeah, that will work. That's a good spot for it. Okay, let's save what we've done for today. Oh, that's a stretch. Okay, let's go and check on something here. Okay, that looks good. Okay. So that looks like we've got everything here. Let's make that a flat 3. How about 5? 5 is too much. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's zoom in and see. Yeah, 4 is perfect. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let's change this back into material mode. And why don't we do a fun little test here by going into texture paint. Turn that on. Select this front face and just do a test little paint here. Okay. Yeah, that's all kind of blurry. That's funny. Mostly because it's on its side here. If I switched it more to the front. Excuse me. Okay. Let's hit save. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. Yeah, I like the way that looks. Okay. Let's go here and click on that. Go to fill. Tool, scroll down. And click on this, and click on the side here like this. And do a fill there. And select. Into palette, clicky, and clicky, and clicky. Okay. Well, there we go. Gonna save the image here. Save this. Okay. Let's go back to object mode. Click on the top here. Go back into paint mode. Go like this. Zoom out. Whoop. Move that around a little bit. Select all of that. Go back to paint, scroll down, add that to the palette. Click on this, and then click on that. And then click on that. Okay, that didn't quite work. So I'm actually going to undo that. Go here. Yeah. So that's interesting. it's only selecting the front. That's interesting there. Okay. Ah, I think all the norms. I think I need to do something about the norms on that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish up this little thing and call an... Ah, good. I was getting ready to sum things up for the day, Sasami-chan. After I finish some flat coloring on the textures here. Mm. Mm. Okay. Let's see. Need to select all of that. Yeah, I can only select this, so... Okay. Let's select all and then remove those two. Okay. That should do the trick. Okay, to make sure I have the right color selected. There we go, and boom. There we go. Okay, go back to this, go down and click on the bottom, and I'm going to switch back to this. Don't know. I don't know if they're still on the stream, but if you are, Cyber-chan asks a question. That's actually a question I was thinking. Where did you come up with your name, or pull your name from, or what inspired your name, I should say? YS Books. Okay. Just gonna go to this dark one. Clicky. Okay, so I got that, and I haven't played it myself. Okay, now go back to object mode, select all the legs, go into texture paint, turn that on, go to select, go around. That's only one leg at a time. Okay, so let's go back to this and start with the front leg here. Texture paint. Okay, start with the side here. Go to this. Click here, click here, click there. And I forgot I had them all in the same position, which is good, because that's what I want. I don't need the same thing, because it's the same texture on all four legs, so I don't need it all over the place on the texture. So next, click here, then back to here, then back to here. Click on that, and then that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this, and that's saturation. Let's bring up the brightness a little bit here, and do that. Click on this, click on this, back here, and click on that. Let's actually brighten it more. There we go. Okay. One more face. Click on that. And click back here. And yeah, let's go with this one and make it darker. Okay, there we go. Go back to this. Move this around here. Okay, I think that's starting to look like the table. Okay. So let's save everything and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. Okay. So, thank you all for coming for today's stream. It went a little longer than normal because I took too long working on a particular object. So, thank you for joining me, Sami-chan. Thank you for joining me, YS Books. And thank you for all of those who are watching later. Thank you for coming and watching this video. It's always fun to do these, even when no one shows up, but nice thing is, a couple people showed up today, so that is cool. Okay. And the usual stuff, please subscribe, please like, please watch other videos on the channel, because watch time is very important on YouTube. So if you want to help this channel, pull up one of our longer playlists and just let it play in the background, because Google can't tell if you're watching it or not. As long as it's playing, it counts as a watch. Which is kind of annoying sometimes when you have the autoplay on and you're just scrolling through YouTube and the video just starts autoplaying on your phone with the sound off. YouTube will count that as a watch. So yeah, just start a playlist and have it going in the background if you have bandwidth to do so, and it will help this channel a lot. Like the videos, subscribe, ring the bell, all the fun stuff. Share the videos around, tell your friends about us, and just enjoy the channel. And there's links to my art. There's other things down below. I have a Patreon. I have a coffee. You can actually look at the coffee link in the stream on the video. And there's a link down below for my coffee and Patreon. And if you donate during a stream, that little coffee button will actually animate with your name and how much you've donated. So there you go. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for commenting and everything, Sami-chan. You always have a wonderful sense of humor. And see you all next time. Have a good time out there. Bye-bye.